the vibrant heart of Los Angeles, where the sun shines brightly and dreams take flight, lives are woven together in often unpredictable ways. Amidst the bustling crowd, individuals remain largely oblivious to one another, except when a striking event occurs. On an otherwise typical Sunday afternoon, Jessica Lee, a self-assured and accomplished woman in her late 30s, planned to visit a renowned art gallery on Melrose Avenue. She had spent considerable time organizing this outing, hoping to surprise her partner Liam with a meaningful gift for their 5-year anniversary. Jessica wasn't merely any patron. She was a respected architect known for her innovative designs and community advocacy. Her mission was simple: discover a unique piece of art that embodied the essence of their relationship and the years they had shared together. However, unbeknownst to her, this unremarkable trip would unearth a deeply troubling episode of bias and social injustice. The art gallery was famed for its elite clientele and exclusive offerings. The entrance sparkled with chic decor, accentuating vibrant paintings and sculptures, each piece symbolizing creativity, yet demanding a significant price. Upon entering the gallery, Jessica reveled in the aesthetic beauty that surrounded her, a peaceful refuge compared to the city's frenetic pace. As she perused the artworks displayed, an intricate sculpture captured her eye. Envisioning how Liam's face would light up at the sight of it, a voice intruded upon her thoughts. "Can I assist you with something today?" Jessica turned to find a gallery attendant, a tall woman with sleek, blonde hair positioned behind the front desk. Her demeanor was cool, almost aloof, every word professionally clipped, yet hinting at a deeper, unspoken bias that disturbed the atmosphere. "I'd like to inquire about this sculpture," Jessica responded, gesturing towards the piece she admired. The attendant paused briefly, her expression tightening as she scrutinized Jessica, revealing a flicker of disbelief, as if to say she didn't belong in such a refined establishment. After unlocking the display case, the attendant placed the sculpture into Jessica's hands, though her smile felt more like an afterthought. As Jessica marveled at the intricate details of the art, she sensed the woman's gaze lingering on her, not with curiosity, but with a palpable sense of skepticism. Jessica had encountered this treatment before, the quiet, undermining doubt about her presence, solely based on her ethnicity, even in spaces where she had every right to be. Battling discomfort, she calmly inquired, "May I know the price?" The attendant's lips pressed into a thin line before replying, "Are you certain this fits within your budget?" The statement caught Jessica off guard, not due to any financial limitations, but rather the implications of the question. She had grown accustomed to prejudice, yet this direct affront felt particularly vulnerable and unsettling. Steeling herself, Jessica affirmed, "Yes, I am certain." However, she noticed the attendant's eyebrows knitting together in thinly veiled frustration as she reached out her hand for the sculpture. "Perhaps it's best if you return it to the display, just in case," the attendant declared, raising her voice enough to draw the scrutiny of nearby patrons. Jessica's cheeks burned with indignation, and as she gently placed the art back, she protested, "That's unnecessary." But her voice faltered as the attendant signaled a security guard, now approaching their location. The gallery atmosphere grew laden with an oppressive silence, eyes from other attendees piercing her like daggers. The guard appeared, tall and unyielding, addressing the situation with a strained authority. "Is there an issue here?" he demanded, glancing between the attendant's accusing finger and Jessica, who stood stunned. "This woman was attempting to steal that piece," the attendant proclaimed, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. The baseless accusation was swift and shocking, leaving Jessica momentarily speechless. "I didn't," she began. But the guard interrupted, his gaze focused solely on her. "I need you to come with me," he instructed, his tone firm, yet unexpectedly compassionate. An overwhelming wave of humiliation washed over Jessica as she followed him, the stares of onlookers pressing heavily on her shoulders. She fought to maintain her composure, unwilling to let this moment shatter her spirit entirely. In the security office, Jessica sat down as the guard initiated the footage review. Confusion swirled within her. How had a supposedly simple outing devolved into this chaos? Yet as her heart raced, she already knew the painful truth. After an eternity, the guard returned, expressing a softer demeanor. "We've examined the footage," he stated, a hint of regret clouding his features. "You did nothing wrong. You're free to leave." Jessica nodded silently, but the emotional damage lingered. She expressed her gratitude quietly, exiting into the bustling mall, where her heart felt both heavy and defiant. This wasn't solely about her. It represented something far more profound: the normalization of racial bias that others face daily. Upon arriving home, Liam stood waiting, concern etching his face. Steeling herself, Jessica recounted the distressing episode, emotions pouring forth as she explained the humiliation and indignities he endured. Liam's expression darkened as he absorbed her words. "They treated you like a criminal?" he asked, disbelief and rage mingling in his voice, reflecting the chaos brewing within her. "In this city? In our local gallery?" Jessica nodded, her anger mingling with frustration. "It was terrible. They didn't even give me a chance to explain myself. It felt predetermined. I was marked as guilty before I opened my mouth." Fueled by protectiveness, Liam rose, clenching his fists as he declared, "This is far from over. We need to address this. They can't get away with disrespecting you like that." Grateful for his unwavering support, Jessica felt a renewed sense of strength. Yet, unbeknownst to them both, Liam was more than a supportive partner. He was also a prominent figure in the art world, owning the very gallery where the incident unfolded. The next morning, Jessica met with Andre, the security guard who had responsibly cleared her name. They convened at a cafe nearby, where Andre repeated his apologies for the previous day's events. "I'm truly sorry that you experienced that," he said genuinely. "Something felt off the moment you entered, but I had to go by the handbook." "I appreciate that," Jessica replied, but then her resolve surged. "However, we need to take further action. This isn't just about my situation. It's about a larger issue." They quickly agreed that more needed to be done. "Let's gather evidence," Jessica insisted. "I want the gallery to face the music for what they've allowed to persist." And so they began their investigation, delving into the gallery's policies and canvassing previous patrons who may have faced discrimination. Each conversation unearthed similar experiences, adding weight to Jessica's resolve. Tying empirical evidence to their claims, they began to stitch together a narrative rooted in truth and shared suffering. Amidst their investigations, Jessica uncovered a startling connection. The gallery management had been linked to an individual seeking to undermine her partner's reputation and his business. This wasn't mere prejudice. It was a calculated maneuver to destabilize those in power. Convinced that this orchestrated malice must be exposed, Jessica and Andre prepared to confront the gallery management, armed with the collected evidence. The day they sought accountability arrived, with Jessica, Liam, Andre, and their supportive team walking into the gallery, stepping forward with conviction. "We know what's been transpiring," Jessica addressed the gallery manager, while Liam's commanding presence loomed beside her. "We have proof of biased practices and significant malfeasance, tied directly to your operations." For a moment, the gallery manager appeared shaken, but swiftly regained composure, her stance firm. "I have no idea what you're insinuating," she haughtily retorted. But Liam moved forward, offering an air of resolve. "You've been caught. We hold enough evidence to warrant legal action. This stops now." Realization crept across her face as the gravity of the situation washed over her. Finally, acquiescing, she agreed to cooperate, realizing the depth of their claims and the repercussions awaiting her. Jessica demanded an admission of guilt, mandatory training for employees, and public accountability. With visible reluctance, the manager complied, agreeing to facilitate the necessary changes. While the immediate confrontation concluded, the journey toward justice was just beginning. They understood that this was larger than one incident. It was about creating awareness for the systemic bias people of color faced every day. A few days later, Jessica held a press conference, fueled by the energy of their collective efforts. Eager journalists gathered to hear about the unfolding scandal surrounding the gallery, each camera clicking, capturing every emotion. Standing before the crowd, Jessica felt the adrenaline course through her. This was an opportunity for her voice to resonate, for change to be demanded. "I stand here not merely for myself, but for everyone who has encountered discrimination," she stated firmly. As she articulated, it was not just a personal grievance, but a rallying cry for countless others facing similar turmoil. Liam stepped forward subsequently, presenting their amassed evidence, the testimonies, documentation, video evidence, everything laid bare. Shock rippled through the audience as they absorbed the weight of the narrative that had unfolded. "We demand immediate action," Liam asserted, his tone commanding attention. "Discrimination will not be tolerated, and it must be addressed." The press conference ignited an online conversation and amplified voices across the country, which began demanding accountability from the gallery. The media frenzy was swift, leading to pressure placed on the gallery's authority. In the ensuing days, the gallery's leadership issued a public apology, declaring intentions to conduct a rigorous internal review and implement changes designed to prevent future discrimination. However, Jessica knew that their work was far from over. Soon after, reports surfaced unveiling a long history of discriminatory practices that had been silenced over time. The gallery wasn't simply an isolated case, but a part of systemic issues ingrained in the art community that remained unaddressed. With this pivotal knowledge, Jessica rallied behind the victims who had been dismissed for years, determined to provide a platform for their experiences. Reinvigorated and united, she planned another press conference, inviting past clients and those impacted by the gallery's legacy to stand in solidarity. The room buzzed as victims shared stories of prejudice, injustice, and the pervasive, unfair treatment they received. Each account illuminated a stark reality, exposing the gallery's attempts to obscure the truth. Jessica reiterated their purpose. Today, we stand here for every individual who has faced marginalization in the art world. We will not remain silent. Support surged throughout the crowd. Double the reporters flocked to cover the outrage that began to spiral into a national dialogue about prejudice in the arts. Jessica and her team organized fervently afterward, creating an expansive network designed to offer support to those facing similar injustices. Soon, the community saw a significant rise in advocacy groups and activists demanding equal representation and treatment across the board. The collaboration produced ample strategic plans for legal action, a proactive approach towards transforming how art institutions engaged with marginalized communities. As time passed, Jessica and her team meticulously honed their efforts, crafting a powerful organization aimed at shining a light on systemic issues within the art world. Weeks turned into months, and the impact Jessica sought began to flourish in earnest. Programs were put in place to educate gallery owners, patrons, and artists about the importance of diversity and inclusion. The initiative garnered attention, successfully transforming perspectives and actions within the community. But amid the progress, there were challenges that cropped up, leading some to question their ability to create lasting change. Jessica often spent sleepless nights reflecting on the victories amid an uphill battle against deeply rooted indifference. Yet, in sharing her journey, she continually inspired others to rise and take action against injustice. Her network, initially small, grew into a powerful catalyst for change. Stories poured in from artists and individuals who once felt isolated by discrimination, now empowered to take a stand. One evening, while Jessica reviewed upcoming events, her partner Liam entered the room, beaming proudly. "Your efforts have sparked a movement far beyond anything we could have anticipated," he remarked. Reassured by his pride in her work, Jessica smiled, recognizing the transformative reach of their combined efforts. Yet even as they celebrated progress, she acknowledged the road ahead remained long and winding. One afternoon, while strategizing at her office, Jessica received a call from an aspiring artist named Maya. Hesitantly, she shared multiple instances of inequity she faced in her field, detailing how her potential was routinely overlooked. Jessica listened, heart aching for Maya and the fear emanating from her words. "I want to uplift voices that are often silenced," Jessica reassured, identifying with the plight of their shared experiences. "My goal is to ensure you have the resources and backing to pursue your passion," Jessica declared, galvanizing Maya's resolve. After connecting Maya to allies and mentors, the transformation was evident. Maya blossomed, capturing opportunities that were once out of reach. In turn, she became a beacon for others, continuing to amplify marginalized voices through her artistic journey. Jessica recognized this was not just her story or even Maya's. It was the collaborative effort of a larger movement, and they were committed to propelling this momentum further. As their organization flourished, Jessica initiated workshops, community events, and artistic showcases, each one designed to elevate those who had previously been sidelined due to inequities. Through these efforts, undeniable progress was made. More individuals found their voices, fighting for equality and representation across the diverse landscape of the arts. Yet Jessica understood that while they achieved much, the task was ongoing. Each victory was a reminder of the countless battles still to be fought. One evening, reflecting on their journey, Jessica turned to Liam, acknowledging the arduous path ahead. "It's been tumultuous but rewarding," she said softly, a hint of uncertainty lingering in her voice. "I wish for everyone to have the kind of support we've cultivated, the courage to step forward and to stand up for what's right," she confessed, feeling the weight of responsibility resting upon her shoulders. Inspired, Jessica leaned against him, envisioning the future of their work. Justice was a journey, and she was determined to continue making strides toward it. Ultimately, Jessica's mission emerged as a profound reminder of the strength in community, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of equality. Each step they took ignited hope for a more inclusive tomorrow.